This is the southernmost outpost of Fortress Europe. Yet it's on mainland Africa, opposite the Straits of Gibraltar. The Mediterranean enclave of Ceuta is one of the last vestiges of Spanish rule in northern Morocco. It's been European for more than 500 years, and Madrid insists it will never relinquish control. The recent visit by the Spanish monarch highlighted the ongoing tension over the status and future of Ceuta. Spain has also cordoned it off, prompting comparison with another wall in another place.
I come from East Germany, and when I look at this wall, it reminds me of the Berlin Wall.
The crossing between Morocco and Spain has become a magnet for tens of thousands of workers and migrants, legal and illegal. For this is the back door into the prosperous European Union and the hope of a better economic future. But within the town of Ceuta is another divide, a social division that is religious and economic, between the wealthy Christian Spaniards and their poorer Muslim compatriots of Moroccan descent. The town of Ceuta is a geographical anomaly, part of mainland Africa, but belonging to Europe. Given its geographical position, it's no wonder that one of the foremost map makers of the ancient world was born here in 1099. Al-Idrisi's maps helped make possible the great voyages of discovery, which led to colonization and, as in the case of Ceuta, the presence of Europe in Africa. Once again, economic opportunism is the prime mover, but now the migration is in the opposite direction, as those who were formerly colonized head north, driven by war, want, and oppression, ending up here at the gate of Europe.
This problem affects every part of the world. It's different in Ceuta, because the problem is concentrated in just a few square kilometers.
What the migrants find is a double fence, most of it paid for by the European Union. 4 meters high, 6 kilometers long.
This fence has been the only effective method we have found of dealing with the problem of illegal immigration.
What the migrants also find is a holding center before their status as refugees is decided, and that typically takes months. It's not a prison, but there are constraints.
My name is Karim Karbaj. I am Tunisian. I came through Algeria and Morocco. I stowed away in a lorry, but was caught by a police dog and given a note to come here. There is nothing to do. I cannot earn money. I cannot work or even study. There are lots of people stuck with their families here. As for getting to Spain illegally, you have to pay and bribe. It's very difficult here.
But those who arrive often come from far further afield, from other continents even.
I came here from India, Kashmir, because of economical problem and war in India, you know. and I took 3 months.
There are people who are allowed into Ceuta from Africa, and it takes them only a few minutes. Every day, thousands of Moroccans trudge past the deserted guard posts that separate this Spanish enclave from Morocco. The bundles of soap, clothes and oil they carry home for resale in Morocco are not an entirely legal traffic. But the Spanish authorities turn a blind eye, knowing how profitable this trade is to the city. This cross-border trade, though, is at odds with an old relationship built on mistrust and suspicions between Spain and Morocco over Ceuta. It goes back to the collapse of Muslim rule in Spain at the end of the 15th century, which for some gives the issue a religious dimension.
مدينتي سبتة ومليليا هما مدينتين متنازع.
The city of Ceuta is a contested city between Spain and Morocco.
الإسبانيين يريدون أن يضعوا
The Spanish not only want to create a European city out of Ceuta,
مدينتين أوروبيتين بل أكثر من ذلك.
but they also want to Christianize it. And I think this is very dangerous.
بل يريدون أن تكون مدينتين مسيحيتين وهذا هو الأخطر.
El temor no está hacia el musulmán.
Our fear is not of Muslims, but we're afraid of Morocco that wants to annex Ceuta. Due to its location, Ceuta is a fusion of cultures, and we are proud of that. But we are all standing against the Moroccan stated intention of taking Ceuta.
Reivindica la soberanía sobre Ceuta que nosotros negamos rotunda y categóricamente.
On the surface, Ceuta appears to be a harmonious, cosmopolitan city. But through the middle of it runs another wall, an invisible wall that divides its 70,000 inhabitants along religious lines.
There are many walls here, psychological ones. These walls are splitting the people in Ceuta. The Christian majority want to stay living in isolation. They reject any non-Christian element that want to share the city with them. And the walls of isolation, as you know, are worse than those erected on the ground.
This is the impoverished hillside neighborhood of Príncipe Alfonso, whose disaffected inhabitants cite examples of official neglect, contributing to their poverty and despair. This is where half of Ceuta's Muslims live. And those Muslims who feel marginalized make no secret of where their allegiances lie. For every Friday they pray for the health and prosperity of the King of Morocco.
تهميش المسلمين يأتي من عدة أبواب.
The marginalization of Muslims is seen in many ways. Rather than offering them permanent work, they are offered short contracts, 3 to 6 months. On the other hand, Christians get permanent jobs, which help them to stay and have roots in Ceuta. There's also cultural marginalization, where only Christian culture is celebrated, whereas Muslims, who pay their taxes to the authorities, do not enjoy the same benefits.
It's a scene, a First Communion, more often played out in mainland Spain. The priest officiating doesn't see any divisions between Ceuta's Christians and Muslims.
No, no hay verja. Al contrario, yo creo que las relaciones son
On the contrary, the relations between members of different faiths are very cordial. These days we have the opportunity to meet and greet each other. And in this way, we can enjoy integration and openings of places of worship. Certainly, it's normal to find a variety of faiths here. There are no barriers between us, and everyone expresses his own faith freely and openly.
Pero con mucha normalidad y naturalidad y libertad.
The city of Ceuta is Spain's footprint on the very northern tip of Africa, and for African migrants, the shortest way into Europe. To stop them, Europe has built a double barbed wire fence. It's a modern version of the Great Wall of China, and more recently, the Berlin Wall. While those walls relied on height and guards to keep outsiders at bay, the Spanish fence bristles with electronic surveillance gear. But the purpose is the same. The fence it replaced, much lower, was too easily breached, with the result that, for the truly desperate, Ceuta became a stepping stone into continental Europe.
I came this way to find my way. I want to go to Spain. I have my mother, my father, they all passed away, so I want to go to Spain. So that if I be in Europe, I can survive on my own. In Gambia, I was having so many difficulties.
Those who still chance their luck wait in the surrounding forests, but if caught, they're transported back to their countries of origin by the Moroccan authorities. Now, though, there are growing demands for a more constructive approach to bring about a lasting solution to the problem of illegal immigration.
The solution is for us to help migrants' home countries with political and economic support, and to encourage development in those countries so people can enjoy economic stability.
El desarrollo de sus propios países, que no tengan que emigrar buscando un trabajo, que tengan seguridad en sus países.
The solution is in Europe. The advanced colonial countries of Europe have to return back some of the wealth they appropriated from the colonized African countries. Europe should also put in place for them a program for employment and progress.
But to see those programs in action, one has to cross to mainland Spain, on the other side of the Mediterranean. This is the Bay of Cadiz, where on the 25th of October 2003, a local man was shocked by the sight of 35 male corpses washed ashore close to his home. 12 of them were from the same Moroccan village.
To see the corpse of young people here in the seaside, for us it was a very heavy experience. When we found the dead people, we take our cars with our own money and we went to Morocco. We were to find the people from Hansala in Beni Mellal. because Benimeral is a place with a high rate of immigration. And we decided to go there and to explain the risks of illegal immigration, averting them that it causes death.
Rafael Quiros, who is a school teacher, decided to take action. He founded a charity called Solidaridad Directa to ensure that the little Moroccan village of Hansala does not lose any more of its husbands and sons. He's constantly encouraging others to join him.
In Solidaridad Directa, we all are volunteers. We spend our own money. We put our cars and our own work. We don't accept official money, public money, because we think that people have to change inside. When people change inside, is able to change the world.
And the change that Rafael and his charity is aiming to bring about is in the minds of Hansala residents, who still view migration as their only salvation, paying little attention to the well-known perils.
Even knowing that cross the Gibraltar, it was very dangerous, and that many of their friends and parents were dead because of that, some of the young people from Hansala wanted to cross Gibraltar again.
But what makes the approach of this charity so innovative is not its idealism, but its pragmatism in linking the economic interests of Spanish citizens with the well-being of those in a remote Moroccan village. It costs taxpayers in Spain 2,000 euros every time that a drowned man is sent back in a coffin. So far better to spend that in developing the migrant's place of origin, an adoption of sorts that others can emulate.
We wanted to make from Hansala a good place to live, because it is a good place to live. We started building a small clinic, a classroom for the children. We started giving them some grassroots in order to avoid that little children work in the country, because we understood that it's better that little children remain in the school learning, because if they are working in the country, there is a possibility that they try to emigrate again, because they don't get enough money to live. But if they study, they have a possibility of developing Hansala.
This imaginative grassroots initiative is at odds with the fencing and policing approach favoured by the European governments of Fortress Europe. Ceuta's barbed wire barrier may, for a time at least, stop the flow. But it does nothing to remove the enduring underlying causes.
The frontiers are something artificial. And at the end, it is not going to stop the people. It is not going to stop immigration. It can control illegal immigration, but it is not going to stop it. In order to stop illegal immigration, we have to change our mentality. But the mentality has to change too in Africa. Because in Africa, they have to understand that they have to work protecting their own interests, developing their own economies.
What Rafael Quiros urges is a radical shift in our thinking, the realization that walls don't work.
Sooner or later, defense in Ceuta is going down, sooner or later, because fences can't stop people. From many years ago up to now, people have emigrated. And it's going to happen the same in the future. So fences are not the solution. The solution is to open our hearts, because the main fence is placed inside our heart.